A very rainy good morning and afternoon to you guys. Yasir is back again. I'm with Ogatiki, the camera lens bender. I'm with him now.
What? Alright, okay.
So before we get to today, I have one thing to tell you. Like, we have to focus on one particular thing. I'm talking about this video today in the middle. It's very
give them
important.
chance.
Very key. Very key. So
Note the brand logo. Come on, Basia. Thank you.
So we are here talk today, and we're going to have a quick chat about. We all know wherever it goes. So we'll open the food first. You watch us and hope to taste it like as we taste it. Ogatiki, walk us towards
What I have here?
Yeah, what do we start with first?
Okay. So I think we'll start with tacos. Yeah. This is sandwich. You can, because we're using gloves, you can use gloves for all of them. Then we'll use forks for this one. So we can start with tacos. Tacos is my best thing on the menu. It's light. It's not heavy, but it's very tasty. Yeah. I wish I got a burrito, but burrito is messy. You can't do that here. Then we have chicken suya, we have beef suya, the sandwich, then we have loaded fries, our best seller.
The one I'm
All-round
familiar with.
bestseller.
This I'm familiar with.
So I want to taste this. You love this.
Okay.
Yeah. So we start with tacos, but let me just open up the suya because this is like finger food. You can just be picking up in between.
Yes, as we get into it. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to smell stuff now, but I'm alright. The weather is not allowing me to smell anything.
Bro, the weather is crazy. I feel like this year we have everything in extreme. We had extreme heat. Then we now have extreme rains.
Yeah.
Yesterday, that rain yesterday.
I think I was returning, I think, at late night. You know, I don't say at night. I don't say at night. And I should be wearing my glasses in this video, so I don't see at all. But I don't know. We fight with my doctor all the time. I don't see at night, and I ended up like, I think things were invisible on the road when I was driving, and then there was rain on top of it again, and there was no street lights.
That's for lack of better words, very risky. Very, very risky.
No, but alhamdulillah, I just feel like, okay, as we're talking about this thing now, what's your take on global warming? Do you think is true or false? Do you think it's propaganda or it's actually like true stuff?
Well, so I don't believe it will happen when I'm alive.
Okay.
That's the end game, if I put it that way.
Okay.
But it is very factual that global warming is occurring and it's happening. I don't see any reason why they are bullshitting us into believing about global warming. But you can definitely notice climate change occurring a lot of the time. The seasons that we have, the time shifts, things change generally, and even the nature of nature, use and disuse, there's a lot of change is always there. So when I say use and disuse, I mean we are using the earth so much, and well, by the grace of God, it will still be there for our many children to come.
Hopefully.
But more pollution and all those things, they're crazy things.
So would you attribute like because me, I believe in cycle of life repeating itself over and over again, and history all over. So would
Big
you
Bang all over again?
Why not Big Bang all the way Big Bang? I just feel like, for example, now like the whole Ice Age thing, I like to believe it was triggered by global warming, and I believe it happened because of the whole rising and falling of tides you hear from here and there. You have sinking nations or islands from here and there. So I believe too. I don't think
Vienna that is sinking currently.
No, I know like there was the capital of Indonesia. There was a point like it was sinking. They had to move the capital inside. I think it was in Jakarta. Jakarta was the capital, yeah. They had to move inside because of this thing. So I'm struggling with this thing. It's still not anything I have patterns. So
just to find covers is good.
So now let's go in. I have to eat before we start the introduction. We're just the icebreaker now. So this is my review.
They hit me every single time.
No, 3 layers of taste.
Flavor is perfect. And the taste is just confusing. You're tasting this, you're tasting that.
I sense 3 layers. Before the suya, the sauce has, I don't know what the hell is the sauce. I know there's mayo in that sauce. Ketchup, there's sweetness in it. I don't know if there's hot sauce.
Stop it, don't ask me again.
Okay, we'll not reveal it, but off the cam, I'll try and guess these things. But then the suya hits that, man, perfectly. I have a question. Do you guys have the crunchy tacos?
No, we don't. So the thing about crunchy tacos is, making the shell was a bit. Now we do fast food. When a restaurant that can take time. We try to deliver food as fast. Making the shells and all those things just seemed like a really tasking process. So we just did soft shell. And we tried to buy them, but the supply wasn't consistent. So we just did soft shell. And soft shell works for this.
Honestly, I just feel like some people, some people have a thing about wrapped foods. I won't call names, but I met someone who said that doesn't like wrapped foods. They don't see everything around. So, some people, they believe everything just be one, like just put everything for me in one place. Let me finish the meal and go about my day.
Like the Arabs.
They wrap everything. Even when you have like rice and everything separately, you still combine it together. And take it.
Chow,
Yeah.
I like that concept of eating. It was one of the inspiration pieces that drove CHOW. I love the whole. I was so keen on doing lamb steak and rice. Yeah. But and biryani as well. But again, CHOW. I was calling my food truck CHOW. I needed to stay true to Suya. So that was why I just left that out. That's something I might venture into later. Do proper steaks, and one of the major things that I would say failed was brisket.
Oh, why?
We're going to do brisket, but now you see brisket with South African meat, American brisket, and everything. When you try with Nigerian brisket, so brisket is like there's a part of the limbs that's called brisket. It's very close to the muzzle. I think it is the muzzle. I'm not really sure, but the fact that our Nigerian cows be trekking Zamfara to Abuja
To go to gym,
bro,
work out.
You see those cows that they use over there, they are literally in
Ranch.
a ranch and they are there just getting fat. So they need to actually be juicy. This one you're chopping muzzle.
Yeah, I agree.
We tried Nigerian brisket. We cooked that thing for 2 days.
What?
It wasn't soft.
But that's some tenderizers you can use now.
Bro. Think about you have to smoke it.
Yeah.
To do proper brisket, you have to smoke it. So, bro, my smoker was on for 2 days. I eventually took out the smoker from my truck and just put it at the back. It's now a grill.
Perfect.
Perfect, it still works. It's a very massive grill. But that didn't work because the meat is too hard. And then, of course, if you're importing, it's too costly.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't make sense now. But then I feel like for this kind of business, I think you should just invest and get your own ranch and get it over with. You just get your own ranch and get it over with. So you can have fresh beef.
We're talking about farming earlier. Something I would do.
Cattle. But it depends on where now. Do you want to join these people that are roaming around to have your cows on the road?
Get an actual ranch. Yeah. Get them feed. Do it properly, man.
I don't think it even costs much because if you think about it, no one ever does a ranch like individually. Organizations, groups, there are some ways to just go about it. I don't think like it's an individual effort. So I think if you're to go for ranching with the insecurity, I hope like it should be close to town.
Yeah.
And you can even do like a mini resort and people can come check out the fancy cows.
We're now talking about a very large land space.
Yeah, agreed. Like, I did call is it Wagyu or Wagyu? Which one is it called?
Wagyu.
Okay, Wagyu.
I
So
hope they heard me.
before they hear you, I don't know how to
Put it in my mouth.
Okay. So tell us again, is it Wagyu or Wagyu? Because I used to watch
Wagyu.
Wagyu, Japanese, wa?
Yeah.
So I feel like the way they talk about those pampered cows, I don't know. Also the diet for them, so I think it involves the pamper, not just
There's a lot. You're feeding them with mostly synthetic feeds.
Okay.
The thing about a ranch is if you get a ranch and you keep your cow there, they'll eat all the grasses there.
Agreed.
How frequent you can't sustain it for daily feed.
Yeah.
So you have to definitely feed them. You have to buy actual feed for them, and that costs money. That's why everybody that has cows would just rather allow them travel the world and eat other people's grass because it's cheaper
And it's free, yeah, it's free
and
grass.
it's free.
Yeah, agree. So, as we are getting into this now, since we're in a professional space, I'm very curious to find out more. I know you as I said, camera lens bender. So,
Thank God.
I would like to know just a bit about the whole cinematography thing and how you found yourself in the whole space.
Okay. How I found myself here?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a sec.
Oh.
So how I found myself here? I went to school to study computer science.
Oh wow. Okay.
I did do computer science for 2 years. I always used to aspire to be the best. So when I was in computer science, I was on. We had this list, president's list, dean's list. That's like smartest people, next smartest.
Don't
people.
say dumb people though.
No, they are not dumb people. They are never any dumb people.
Okay.
So I was actually on the president's list when I was in computer science, but I wasn't doing coding and all those things when I was free. When I was bored, that wasn't what was coming to my mind. I was playing with cameras. So we had a very pretty decent. I went to the American University in Nigeria, so pretty decent studio with gear and everything. So after 2 years, I switched. Very bold step. I called my dad. I told him that I want to switch. And what he said shocked me. He was like, "Whatever you want to do, think about it well and then do it. It's not my future." I said, "Oh, that's a disclaimer and an approval."
Yeah, exactly.
So I went for it. I switched. I would have had to do, I think, an extra year, but I just tried to pack everything together, and then I just loved film from then on. And when I graduated, of course, I continued. So I turned literally what I studied into a hobby. From everything is passion based. I think that's what makes me just do it the way I do it.
Fair.
So yeah, I transitioned to now doing work for clients and making money off it.
Speaking of making money, very important question, because as you can see me say, I'm trying to learn the videography and the cinematography thing.
He said he created this set, so
I try. So speaking of big lucrative sector, I feel like many people don't picture.
You're bringing it back to me. Why? You're tired.
Listen, when they chop our meat,
You chop our meat too.
eh?
You chop our meat.
So how will we do that?
I'll just hold him here. No, you can't eat this yet.
Okay.
Oh guys, I got a dog by the way. Very, I think it's cold.
Very demure.
Can we pause? Let me cover. He has a blanket in the car.
Okay. So
Yeah.
very demure. We are
Commercial break.
We'll be back in 2 minutes. Welcome back to Cooking Chat with Yas. That's the name.
That's
for
the
now.
name,
Yeah. Cooking Chat with Yas. So this is the chicken.
Mm-hmm.
You can shred it.
No.
I don't see bone, so I can't.
We use chicken breast, so there's no bone, and then we just fillet it, I guess, to steamer
That's creative, bro.
bits here, so you can actually form. No, see, it has to be very thin meat. So you about being lucrative.
No, let me phrase it again for you.
Okay.
So we talked about being lucrative in the cinematography industry. So a lot of people just think movie making, film making, and that's it. And we all know how hard it is to get into that industry. If you know somebody, good for you. If you don't know anybody, you're on your own. So what branches can we follow, like in this industry of yours, to find money basically inside?
Okay. So I'll start with filmmaking. Typically, people always want to see themselves as filmmakers. Yeah. Now, I think people need to understand that being a filmmaker is, first of all, is a low budget work to start with. You can only be a filmmaker if, let me use Gabadaya, you cannot afford to pay cinematographer, director, sound engineer, and the likes. Then you can, but then again, your film will suffer in some aspect.
Yeah.
Because you as a person, you most likely be very talented at doing one thing. Not all of them. But it works most of the time. Yeah? It works. So to be lucrative in the film space, I think it's best that people find a particular niche, in terms of their career path. I'm a cinematographer. I don't claim to be anything else. That means I'm very good at drawing cinematography storyboards and directing the camera, not directing the talent.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how to direct people like that, and I know it. I want to learn it. When I do go for my masters in film, I will learn that. Then, outside the film industry, you can now have other aspects like commercials, for example. I focus on commercials, and even when you're doing commercials, still pick a niche. No matter what I shoot, I'm still first a food and product cinematographer. Yeah. So when it comes to the food space, if I send you my portfolio for food, you will love it. Yeah. Personally, for real estate, it might be good, but you know, it's not as great as that thing because I picked that as my niche. If I shoot a product, a perfume, a drink, whatever,
Body wash.
it will still be crazy. You will still see that this is where my creativity lies the most. You can be a jack of all trades, but at least be a master of one. At least. Then you can just dabble around the other things. So I think with that, money will come.
So
Just do it long enough, money will come.
So speaking of money now, as we're talking about money, we mentioned something about food inside this thing.
Yeah.
We're eating the food that you have designed basically from scratch. So I'd like to know like the amazing transition from being behind the lens to get these products. So thinking, you know what, this is the next step. I want to start just giving out the food. Let me start making food now. How did that transition into this?
Okay, so I'll tell you the story. But first of all, it wasn't a transition. Yeah, it was more a just an investment for me, like a decision to I want to have little cash I can set aside. Let me use it to invest because in Nigeria especially, you need multiple sources of income.
Yeah, very
You
important.
cannot like rely on one. I cannot wait for people to come and say, come and shoot. You get. So at the time I had racked up enough money from film and I was just it was just in savings. I feel like save money is not really money, it's just money that wasn't finished. So I know invested. So that was why I did this. Now the story as to how this came about.
The color brown. The name
It's done?
But carry on. Carry on.
This is how you know who's talking and who is listening.
Yeah, agreed.
So I think we were still at the other side of CHOW Central.
Okay.
This was here, but I think we were just there for some reason. I can't remember why. And then one of our friends, so I was still with Chef Stone and a couple of friends, one of our friends, her name is Samantha. She would always go and get balangu from under one bridge in the central area, close to Central Mosque. And he would always slap because everybody would eat it. Then I just randomly said, imagine a suya truck. Yeah. And at the time, it didn't sound like the best idea because suya is typically roadside.
Yeah.
It's like the most down to earth kind of food. It's just something that you think because then we had only red
Yeah.
It didn't sound like something that would why will you come to this kind of place to buy suya? When suya is something you buy on your way home.
Yeah.
You get?
Yeah.
So then Chef Stone said, if you don't do it in 3 months, I'll do it. That was when the challenge came.
Oh my god.
I was like, yeah, okay. Chef Stone is a visionary. So when he said that, I was like, this idea will go crazy. I was still thinking about it in a very small scale. I think my startup budget then was like 3 million. I didn't think it was going to be so high.
No, yeah.
I spent 15 million on this truck.
Crazy.
What? So it came up as joke. And I think the most important thing is just build it, whether it's play or not. Just see where to go at least. If this didn't work out, I could have still sold the truck to be used for something else.
Fair.
I could have sold the equipment and all those things. But it worked. You missed 100% of the shots you don't take.
So that means it was the mentor influence. That means basically
Yes.
overall.
Yeah.
That's nice. So while we're still at it now, I want to go back to our camera too. I finished food for now. Look at our camera thing. So me, I like movies a lot, and I've noticed that after you talked about your lucrative thing, we all know that the connected people in the industry, in the film industry, should be able to make quality movies for us. So what is the reason for the gap between like watch a mad John Wick, imagine a John Wick exactly in Nigeria with what we have so far. Picture. So how do you compare, and why is the gap there that it can't feel the same till now, despite the amazing camera and gear and the team that we have? Still, it doesn't match up to that. I don't know why.
Very sensitive question.
Hmm?
You want me to bite my mentors?
No.
I feel no. I'll answer it in a very strategic way.
Yeah.
So, first things first. I think the major issue is time.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Nigerians in general like quick money. So when people make movies, they don't spend as much time to do it. There's some movies where actors have to go through a certain meal diet for 2-3 months to look the part.
Yeah.
We don't do that in Nigeria. Hardly.
They went for the big names.
There's times that an actor might need to shave off his beard and grow it back.
Yeah.
Yeah. All these things play a part
Yeah.
into how the success of the movie comes out.
Mm-hmm.
In the US, they can shoot a movie for a year, a whole year, maybe 2 years.
Yeah.
They take their time to do it. Here, 3-5 months, we're done. Your producer is already asking for his money back.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the major issues, because with time comes planning. A lot of reshoots, a lot of redos to make sure it gets perfectly. Yeah, even the editing process itself. It's not just da da da. If you watch, there's a couple of movies that have Snyder's cut. Zack Snyder is the director. So he has his own cut and it looks almost so different from the actual movie because there were a lot of thrown away scenes when they were editing. They shoot and they overshoot. You see a whole lot of things that they didn't even use for the main movie. Yeah, like most of the time you never see it. Sometimes you do see it. That's one thing. I think that's the most important thing. Secondly, I would like to commend the space. Yeah. Now, Nigeria, I won't say I'm 100% sold on it yet. Yeah, I love American movies. Not gonna lie. And I like to aspire to do things the way they do it. Yeah. But with us now, I think we have a lot of people that are doing amazing work. I'll give you. So typically, I won't watch a Nigerian movie. Not gonna lie. Like, yeah, I'm patriotic, whatever. I just won't watch it. It's not my thing. Okay. But I have a friend. His name is Elijah. They recently did a movie called Tokumbo, and he invited me for the launch party. And I saw a lot of effort in the movie, and the movie was actually crazy. Wow. Yeah. So the Nigerian space is actually getting way better. Yeah. The people that are being very intentional about it, believe me, it's getting better. And you have more DOPs, more directors that are actually thinking about the creative process more than the execution, more than the reward. So it's actually getting to a point where things are getting better. And one thing you notice in almost all Nigerian movies these days is the quality is great, directing is shit.
Big time.
Quality is great, story is absent or not relevant or just funny. Why? Because now Netflix has come to Nigeria. So now we are using Netflix budget to shoot movies. Okay. But then again, they even came because they saw prospects.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they would come in the first place.
Exactly.
That's true.
And I'll tell you one thing for free. As a Nigerian, it's easier to watch something you're not familiar with than to watch something you're familiar with. Our Nigerian stories are our stories. They might not be so exciting, so interesting to us. But if you're watching an American movie, you definitely find something to it. I'm sure all around the world people watch our movies because they're not used to the way we live and the kind of things that happen here. Super fascinating. Yeah, so they watch it. So I think that's another thing. So I think we're doing pretty well.
Amazing. I'm not a hater. I want us to do better.
we'll get at the rate we're going. I think we'll get there.
Okay, God, that's amazing. Honestly, I would like to see this Tokumbo thing eventually. After this, I would like to hear more about it.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Because I'm already getting ideas in my head. Tokumbo is such a very funny word in this country, so I'm getting ideas in my head now. So now that we're talking about, we've discussed filming and everything. We all know they still fall back to the main crux of it, storytelling. And we have different types. I know, like for your industry, you have exhibitions where they say, okay, show good storytelling with like clips you take or whatever. So you don't have to use words sometimes. Anyway, the one rule for writing is show, don't tell. Anyway, that's the biggest rule for writing. So how would you say you're involved in terms of like, the storytelling stage of the entire thing when you got working on a project? Because you mentioned you do commissions and commercials. So how involved are you in like the idea generation to shooting it all the way to the end of the process?
I'll pass this question to you.
Okay, so for me as a writer now, I do outlines. So if I get an idea, I'll give an example. Now we're in this park, and I feel like, okay, a meteor like falls in here now. My first thing is, okay, why? So I ask why and what happens to us. So definitely now I can come up with a story on how we got here first, exactly, or how it started falling here. So before you know, now I have an outline for the origin of both things: how we got here, how it's getting here, what's going to happen after we have both reached here now. So now I have my outline leading to the intersection point, the climax, so I can choose that everyone dies here, or some people make it out to tell the story. Boom. So I feel like for some people, story-wise, because you now, as you're behind the camera, there are some, maybe you can get a script that might not work for what you have interpreted in your head based on the story you get. You can make changes to it. So that's what I'm asking. Like, are there like times you make changes just to make it suit what it should feel like?
First of all, people like you are the backbone. the writers.
Yeah.
Yeah, to start with.
Mm.
We did a project together recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we directed the entire commercial around the scripts that you created. So that's the first thing. If you don't have it written down how it should go, you are a headless chicken to start with.
Yeah.
But then what you can also do is during the creative process, some things might not work based on the script.
Yeah.
Feel free to tweak it. In film, there's a lot of laws, symmetry and asymmetry. You have headroom, all those guides that allow you to shoot film properly, the 180-degree rule. But one thing about all of them, you can break them. Yeah. So I believe for creativity to happen, you can break anything. You can break the script. You can break all the laws of film to just make sure you're telling your story and make sure you have told yourself first that you need to break this thing to achieve this.
Okay.
So yeah, that's about it. In terms of direction, I think the script is very important to start with.
Okay. Perfect. So I want you to give us a very beautiful scenario now. You get a deal, a very sweet one. Maybe like Bill Gates wants to shoot, wants to open a new office in Abuja here, and you're like, Tiki, how far now? We need a perfect ad for this. Get your boys, come down to the office tomorrow morning. What do you do? How do you go about it?
Okay. So when I get the request first, I'll tell you my step-by-step process, just so that anybody that wants to do this as well. Most of the time, they'll send you a brief. I would first call every party that is involved in the brief to find out three things. One, can you do it? Two, at what cost? Three, what do you think? How do you think we can do this without giving my idea?
Yeah.
And then gather all that. I'm a creative, but you see that people's brains to work.
Yeah.
And after that, I set up what I call an orientation meeting. Yeah, with the client. We talk, get what they want. Ask them if this wasn't done like this, how else would you rather it be done? What were the inspiration pieces? Send us links. Send us sample videos, things you like. Kind of just, if you've seen a story that looks like what you want to tell, send it to us. Yeah. As you're sending it to us in the meeting, we can be reviewing it at the same time, or we can review it later. But by then, because there's a brief, and if you get jobs from big brands, there's always a brief. Yeah. So we already kind of know how everything is going to pan out. Then we begin to discuss budgets. I don't like to vibe based on rate cards because they are very restrictive. Every single production has its production needs. Yeah. So now I learned this the hard way. Before I used to have a rate card, I would just charge service charge, and then production cost to be on the client. But what happens there is, client is almost never prepared for whatever the budget is. Let's say I charge 1.5 for service charge, and then the production cost is actually going to take another 2 million. The client will not prepare for that 2 million, and it almost look as if you're ripping them off. And then they will now begin to say, "Can we do without this? Can we do without this?" And then your production just dies. It's just trash. So, best think about every aspect of it. I'll call a producer in this sense. Producer is the person that arranges for the set and all those things. I'll call a makeup artist. I'll call a costume guy if I need one. I'll call my editor. If I need any extra graphics, I'll call somebody that does CGI. If I need voiceover, I'll call my voiceover person already. If the project needs a script that they don't have, I call my script writer. Yeah? And then we're all on that meeting. We all have our respective understandings. Nobody apart from myself discusses budget. Simple.
Perfect. Yeah.
We talk about the budget. Once budget is passed, if the client cannot afford it, okay, we look at your project. If it's something we can still do, we are willing to offer a discount. Only discount it. And in your discount, make sure you're putting the actual price there. You don't want that client to see that invoice later and attribute that cost that they paid you to your value. But if it's someone like Bill Gates, I want him to come back.
Yeah.
So I will discount it for him.
I agree.
Heck, I'll do it for free.
Yeah.
And that's something that everybody should do. Do things for free. I mean, if you can't, do it for free. Maybe just cancel your service charge.
It's for the brand.
Yeah? It's for you're growing yourself.
Yeah.
At some point, you will stop doing things for free. But when you're growing, you have to do things for free. So when we eventually come to an agreement on this thing, at the end of the day, we all know that this was discounted from this to this, so that we can take your production. And then we do it the best way possible, the best way we can.
Perfect. So you mentioned something about polygraph. I'm trying to make reference to what you just said now. The, shall I relate to my next question? I forget what you said.
No problem, no problem.
It's for the new guys that yeah, doing free stuff.
Yeah.
So I think as we are wrapping up now, we're about to go to the loaded fries, the best thing.
Oh my
the
God.
best one. So as we're wrapping up now, I also want you to guide us young cinematographers that are aspiring to be like you when we grow up. Yeah. So I want you to also give us like advice on how we should go about certain things, doing free things, knowing how to value yourself out there. Not just, you understand, and the whole most important thing to know as you're entering the world of cinematography, based on gear. Don't stress about gear. Don't do, you understand that kind of stuff.
Okay. Help me note these two things. I might forget when I talking about what.
Okay.
Self worth in terms of value. Imposter syndrome. Okay. Talk about those two things.
Okay.
So, and learning. Let me start with learning. First things first. You die when you stop learning. Your brain dies when you stop learning. You can't think you can't ever think that you know it and then you can just apply it. You need to be ready to learn on the job. You need to be ready to do your own research. Sometimes I'll take jobs that I have no idea how I'm going to execute. Yeah? No freaking clue. I'll just maybe watch a video and then I'll know how the guy is talking and I'll talk like that.
Yeah.
And I'll get the contract. And I'll start looking for either one who would do this for me, or rather, not who would do it for me, who would assist me in doing it, or I start learning how to do it. I've taken emotion design. I'm not so good in motion design. That's motion graphics.
Yeah.
I've taken a motion graphics job. I don't know how to do it. See my 2 screens, YouTube tutorial, see me, they're implementing. So that's how you learn.
Yeah.
But when you do it once, you always know how to do it again.
Agreed, yeah.
Once you do it 3 times, heck, you're close to being a champion at it.
Agreed.
Not 3 times, don't get me twisted. But yeah, consistent practice,
Agreed.
consistent learning. Trends as well are something that you should always follow. Learn to follow trends because the style that people accept switches as well. Before people were so laid back, they can watch something, just you're on TV, you're listening to somebody talk, you have the time because that's the only visual you can consume. These days, everybody is
Yeah.
so if you were shooting slow-paced forms before, now you have to be fast-paced. And if you don't learn it, you go there, you'll be swiping.
You've been in the 1980s.
You've been in the 1980s. You need to keep learning.
Yeah.
And you see that a lot of now, if you check the actors that are now directors, Ramsinoa and the likes, they have kind of somebody I'm not calling. What's his name? You know him?
Actors that are now directors?
Yeah.
Globally or Nigeria?
RMB, no,
Okay.
Nigeria.
Okay.
So these guys have, yes, they're old school, but they are inculcating their lives into the new school, and it's working for them because that's how you stay relevant. So you just have to keep learning. That's number 1. Number 2, value. Once you're done learning, you have to know your worth.
Self-worth.
With the amount of free jobs and giveaway things you do, you begin to place a value to yourself based on the feedback you get. So you should note that value in particular, because if you're, I met somebody yesterday. Yeah, he's very good at what he does. Yeah, but he doesn't charge what I would typically charge. Yeah. I don't say what, if I say what he does, he might catch me.
Yeah. I understand.
He charges so cheap. And I just told him that, okay, look, I have my company that is, where we sort of represent creatives. We'll get you gigs, just do it. Yeah. And then we have a percentage split. So I will not carry your work and then charge 1.5 million and pay you 400. What I'll do is, this is the job, this is the value. I would always take this certain percentage of everything I give you to do for me. Outside me, do your work normally. So knowing your value is very important, because you might be doing work that is worth 2 million and you're there charging 200.
Honestly, I agree.
And everybody will reach out to you.
They will rush you.
They will rush you. And guess what? The day you decide to charge 2 million, most of them will not come
See,
to
I've
you.
changed.
They have
They're
changed.
really too big now.
They were so guilt trip you into collecting that 200k again. Or
Yeah,
that's
I
about
agree.
400.
Yeah.
So know your value and be ready to increase your prices. If nobody's paying your prices, stop. That's fine.
I agree.
But that's about offer discount if you really want to work with them.
Yeah.
If you see there's a guy that this one will catch me. There's a guy that offered me
A lot of money.
4.5 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For an 8 million naira gig. Guess what? He wanted the same deliverables. He's my guy. Wanted the same deliverables, but at 4.5 million.
How about?
I just told him no.
Straight up.
It's not like I don't want 4.5 million in my account.
Yeah.
But
Doesn't make sense.
at some point, I was almost feeling insulted because how are you pricing me so much? And then he's now using words like it's not just to film. That was what pissed me off.
I hate that thing. Honestly.
No. It's not just to carry camera. It's not just to snap. No. I left. I said, nah, I can't do it. Sorry.
It's not
Respectfully, I consulted for him in terms of whatever he wanted to do prior to the shooting.
Yeah.
When it was time for the shooting, I left him because it's not even fair to anybody.
No. It
It's
doesn't
not
make
fair.
sense.
It's not fair to creatives. So that's value. The last point, imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
This is one thing that all of us plus me are facing.
Yeah.
And imposter syndrome is so messed up because even when you know your value, there's something that always tell you that I'm not worth it. There's something that always just there at the back of your head that okay, this good is happening to me. Or is it because of my work or am I just lucky? And that's what defeats a lot of creatives. It has held me down for a lot of things. That imposter syndrome thing. I speak about it a lot. I've spoken about it twice because you almost never know how to fight it. It's not malaria that you take drugs.
You're not even aware sometimes.
You're not even aware. Most of the time, you don't even know that you have imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
But like you're just there and you're not seeing yourself in the way other people see you. Your guys are telling you, yes, you're doing
Bad
so
guy,
great.
yeah.
This one bad guy. This one, you're just like, they want me.
But would you say that the solution to that is to find a tribe that works for you? I feel like if you're in a tribe of similar things that you do, you start realizing, oh, he can't even do that, I can do that. I feel like it kind of helps you get a bigger picture of your value because I think it's tie up together now. So I think having a tribe of like doing like with where you can do the similar things, even if like if it's the departmental, if you do this and this one does that, I think it still works at the end of the day.
Yeah,
So,
it helps you because you're getting all round feedback as well.
but with the society we're in now, the creative sector is so, how do I put it? It's so difficult to do things as the way you want to because like you just said now, they downplay the effort of the thing you're doing. They forget that you can't do that thing. They forget that you give them the top materials in this lifetime and they cannot shoot one thing. You don't realize that. So I really believe that okay, like even us too now we're learning how to like price ourselves through that we're going in because me, I was just a passion guy when I was writing, but now I realize there's money here. Before I used to do it for fun. I have published books like 3 already on Amazon, but I don't you don't see marketing around but now I realize there's money in this field. So now I'm pushing it in a different perspective now. So I think every creative enters that syndrome universe before they are saved or they save themselves. Like there's a saving that's required in that whole thing.
Yeah.
So this is amazing.
In that tribe as well,
Yeah.
I would encourage teaching. I think teaching has helped me believe more in myself because when you teach, there are now people that look up to you.
Yeah.
And just having that, people looking up to you, helps you believe more that yes, you can do it.
Yeah. So
But when I open newsletter first. When I open newsletter first.
oh, open it now. Open it now. What is it?
This is sandwich.
Okay.
I think this one you can take this one home. I
Okay.
don't think I have the stomach for it.
Okay, no problem. So, speaking of teaching that you said now, I would advise. I want to talk about content creation because personally for me, everyone has been meeting me. Yes, how do I write this? How do I do? And I just keep telling the same thing. Let's do this. So when I start realizing that, the same answer I'm giving them, I can just put it on the internet for them to just go and watch it if they want to watch it.
Yeah.
So when you start teaching, I want to tie this up to that our gist about Gen Z kids like making a lot of money today.
Yeah.
Because not all of them are making money.
Yeah.
Some are there for vibes, but some understand that this is a market that they can actually tap into. So what is your own take, particularly in how we combine success and the tech age for Gen Z? You as the overseer and also mingling with them at the same time. What's your own take in terms of success around that? You can choke this. You can start first before we.
No, I'm trying to articulate the question properly.
Should I repeat myself?
Yeah, just phrase it.
Okay.
Phrase it in a different way.
Okay.
Let me see.
So we talked about content creation and teaching people.
Yeah.
You know, Gen Z people now, that's where you find them. If you want
Yeah.
to teach them anything, go to the internet, you are good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but now I've come to see that a lot of them do the most random things and they make money online. They follow the most random trend. Even it's dancing trend, you see them getting endorsements. You understand? And before people can have like almost like 5K followers for no reason.
Yeah.
There's no benefit to having that. But now, even with your 2K followers, you can get small deals from
Small
some people.
deals and
So
everything.
some people have learned to use that around. I know that parents like to say, "Oh, this lazy generation and everything," but the way things work now can never be how they used to work before.
Yeah.
So now I want you to tell us, in terms of the idea of success in this era today, from your perspective as the one who sees Gen Z moving in their own way, and also as one that has worked with them to see how you go together. So you know the two perspectives now.
Yeah. Okay, so first thing I'll say is, we are not a lazy generation, and I say that because I think making money just got easier.
I agree.
We have definitely shifted from the point where is
Office
Dr.
man,
Emeka
club.
and Barrister Angela that are making money.
Yeah.
Now, simple Ted with his phone is making money. There's lots of things and the fact that spaces are willing to pay for content creation services just makes it way easier. And I love that our generation is tapping into it very well. So for me, if you're broke at this age, there's something wrong. There's lots of things you can do. Something as simple as selling a digital product. You record one video once, sell it 100 times. You make money from that. Even if it's small change or anything, there's money coming in.
I agree.
But I definitely love how the Gen Z population has been able to make this space very lucrative. And now the world knows whether it is big boomers that run the world, whoever is running it, they shall know that it is Gen Z
I wrote the word now.
that are driving sales. It's Gen Z that are creating content. It's Gen Z that everybody is watching.
Yeah.
So they have even begun to invest more in the Gen Z brand. A whiskey brand, sorry to say, a whiskey brand reached out to me recently, and they wanted me to do photography for them. So I was trying to pitch something around full stack digital marketing for them and everything. And then they sent me a brief, and now Gen Z full there.
Okay.
That's everybody's market. When
yeah.
I did a commercial for Desperados, who did they want? Gen Z. Gen Z is at the forefront of every single.
When your glass,
Hmm?
whether you don't the phone.
Okay, thank you. Gen Z is at the forefront of every single production brief that you see. Last commercial break. Let me wind up my glass.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Before we start,
It's very important that we find out what's happening here.
this is Soya Truck's bestseller. It's called Loaded Fries. Basically, meat and chips and a whole lot of sauce.
Moment of silence for the respect and the party that's happening in here now.
What do you mean?
Okay, we are back now, officially.
Yeah.
So, we're discussing success in the tech age from a Gen Z perspective. And you were giving us some gems.
Yeah, so I'll just wrap this up. For me, ultimately, we've moved, even if you study to become a doctor, look at a good doctor, for example. You can still use the media space to make money. So I just believe that as a Gen Z, even because of just the energy alone that we are in our best years this period. Some people argue that it's from 30, but me or more, once you're 20,
Don't
even
be
before then itself,
reality has started.
reality has started. You can actually use everything around it to make money. You can own a shop without owning a physical shop. Just internet. You have lots of online vendors these days running things from their house. Yellow Plate itself did not start with owning a shop. It was only delivery service.
I remember.
You get. Now they have a restaurant by Yellow Plate. So anything, the is endless. Because we are very endless.
Perfect.
And the world is more accepting of unconventional roles these days. COVID happened, thank God, but thank God, now we have more remote jobs. People are moving away from always working physically to now working remote. I have a lot of friends that earn dollars. They're in their house coding or editing or whatever.
Honestly.
So, man, that's really changed. That's changed a lot.
So that's amazing. I think what he has just painted for us is the vibrant future that awaits us, and I think everyone needs guidance. Whichever generation you belong to, you need guidance too, because you have some people that from that generation, those ones, the boomers and co. I think they know more than us. They should guide us, but sometimes they don't want to listen to our perspective in things that we have to offer in today's times that they don't really understand. No offense, they don't understand. But like the same way we can ask them for advice for certain things, they should be able to open the door for like a two-way communication of asking as well. But it rarely happens, and I think from what he has said now, we have a chance that it could begin to happen since it's globally accepted now. So locally, it can start getting accepted. So I think that brings us to the end of this thing. We want to eat very well now without the only demure type of eating. We want to eat properly. So the logo is very important in the middle.
CHOW.
Come and have all of
Note
this. Peace. Bye.
All right, cheers.